What is this milky white chemical and what is this milky white chemical? And which one of these treats the fatal local anesthetic toxicity overdose? Like what could have saved the life of this nurse in Mexico who recently died from trying to do liposuction on herself. We'll talk about what each of these is and what the right dose is to be the antidote for that fatal overdose in liposuction. Medicine's greatest secret is our inner healing potential, and it's most powerful under anesthesia, when we let go of the reality we think we know. Hi, I'm Dr. Anthony Cave, a Stanford and Harvard-trained anesthesiologist and integrative medicine specialist. And this week, there was a tragic story of a nurse in Mexico who tried to do liposuction on herself and ended up not making it through. This is a really sad story, and I want to walk you through what happened, what this bag of milky looking stuff is, and what this syringe of milky looking stuff is, and how she probably didn't have access to this milk-like substance that could have potentially saved her life. But more importantly, you know that I always advocate for self-efficacy, taking charge of your own health, advocating for yourself. But doing surgery on yourself is taking this one step too far, especially for something invasive and dangerous like liposuction. So what happens when you have liposuction? This is a real operating room that liposuction is sometimes done in, and you always need to have an anesthesiologist around to provide general anesthesia for liposuction because it's really painful to start with. But we also use lidocaine or bupivacaine or other cane-like substances, not cocaine, to numb the area up. We inject that numbing medication in a solution called tumescence. It's mixing a lot of expensive salt water with a lot of that cane medication like lidocaine. It helps break up fat cells so that they can better be extracted with the liposuction device. Furthermore, that lidocaine that's infused through all that tissue also helps with some post-operative pain relief. However, that lidocaine is not enough to allow you to have liposuction without general anesthesia. At least I've never seen a case of it. I always provide general anesthesia, and we always need to have this milky substance around. It's called Intralipid. It's a fat emulsion. This syringe has propofol. They both look white, but they're both very different. Propofol has a small amount of lipid emulsion in it. It's what the propofol is suspended in. But Intralipid is fundamentally different because it's 20% lipid emulsion. That's a lot of fat. There's actually a fair number of calories in this, far more than the propofol. This is life-saving. This, not this. Because when this local anesthetic is infused to facilitate the liposuction, there's a chance of what's called local anesthetic systemic toxicity. LAST. This is what this nurse in Mexico unfortunately died from an overdose of lidocaine or bupivacaine or another local anesthetic ending in cane. Because all cane-like medications turn nerves off, including the nerves used to numb pain signals and pain transmission in your body to your brain. The problem is that those same cane-like medications can also turn off the nerves in your heart and in the rest of your body. That's what can lead to this fatal condition called LAST, local anesthetic systemic toxicity. What is the only known treatment for LAST? Well, supportive care, meaning that we connect you to the ventilator, like you see behind me, but we also have to inject you with a bunch of lipid emulsion. This is really rarely used because local anesthetic systemic toxicity is very rare when the right doses of lidocaine and bupivacaine, ropivacaine, and other canes are used. However, this case in Mexico, with someone doing their own surgery without anesthesia, without a doctor present, likely didn't follow the dosing guidelines. In emergencies, you want to give 1.5 mLs per kg, so something on the order of 100 mLs. This is a 250 ml bag. So you give around half of this bag right away and probably give another half a bag if there's no response. But you also want to start an infusion of this milky white stuff at about 0.25 mLs per kg per minute. And that's different than propofol because propofol doesn't have nearly enough fat emulsion in there. It's mostly propofol, which can actually do the opposite. It can tank your blood pressure and make your heart rate go even lower potentially. That's why you should never mistake this syringe with this milky white substance. That's in addition to doing CPR and giving epinephrine as needed when you're coding a patient who has local anesthetic systemic toxicity. It's so important to follow those dosing guidelines for liposuction, for nerve blocks, for surgery in general, anytime you're using local anesthetics because of that risk of fatality. It's very real, and it's one of the most dangerous things that can happen in surgery because we simply don't have good treatments other than hoping this fat emulsion will circulate through the body. We believe that maybe it helps inactivate some of the local anesthetic that's binding to nerve receptors on heart muscle, but we really don't know exactly how it works, but we know that it works, but it doesn't always lead to a saved life depending on the dose of local anesthetic used, the patient's comorbidities, and a couple other factors. So if you're ever getting liposuction, you need to be certain that this milky white substance is immediately available to your doctors. You want to have an anesthesiologist and a surgeon who are qualified and trained doing your surgery. As much as self-efficacy is important, it's never safe to do any surgery on yourself.